Okay, let's dive into a piece of scripture that honestly presents one of the most, well, incredibly human and kind of frustrating reactions imaginable. We're looking at Jonah, chapter 4.
It really does. It throws you for a loop. After everything that's happened,
Yeah.
the storm, the fish, Nineveh actually repenting, you'd expect, I don't know, relief, praise.
Right. But no, instead, the text says Jonah was greatly displeased and became angry.
Angry, yeah, about an entire city being spared destruction.
And he tells God exactly why. It's almost like an I told you so. He says basically, see, this is why I ran off to Tarshish. I knew it. I knew you were like this.
Like what exactly? He lists it out, doesn't he?
He does. You're a gracious God, compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in love, and you relent from sending calamity.
It's just remarkable. His complaint isn't that God is harsh or unfair. It's precisely the opposite. He's angry because God is loving and merciful.
He saw God's mercy coming, and he literally fled to try and stop it because he didn't want Nineveh to receive it.
Enemies, outsiders.
And his reaction is so extreme, he immediately asks God, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better dead than to see God show grace to those people. That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
And God's response is so simple, so direct. It cuts right through everything.
Have you any right to be angry?
Oh, that question just hangs there, doesn't it? It really makes you think, is our anger always, justified?
Jonah doesn't answer, not directly anyway. He just storms off, goes outside the city, makes himself a little shelter east of Nineveh.
And he sits there waiting. What's he waiting for? Maybe hoping God will change his mind back.
Yeah.
Or maybe still hoping for fireworks.
Who knows? But while he's there, kind of stewing in his anger, God does something. He makes a plant grow up.
A vine, yeah. To give him shade, comfort.
And the text specifically says Jonah was very happy about the vine.
Think about that swing, though. Utter despair because people were saved. And now, genuine happiness over a plant. A bit of personal comfort.
It shows how quickly our focus can just narrow right down, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But then the lesson continues. The very next day.
God appoints a worm.
Right. A worm attacks the vine and poof, it withers. Gone.
Then the sun comes up, this scorching east wind starts blowing.
Yeah.
It beats down on Jonah.
He gets faint, miserable again. And what does he say?
The exact same thing. It would be better for me to die than to live.
Again. But this time, it's not about God's mercy on thousands of people. It's about
a dead plant and being hot and uncomfortable.
So God asks him again. The same structure, but a different object.
Do you have a right to be angry about the vine?
And Jonah's answer this time, defiant.
Oh, yeah, I do, he says. I am angry enough to die.
Still angry enough to die, but the reason has shrunk from, this huge theological issue about mercy for enemies down to a withered plant.
And that sets up God's final point, the comparison. It's devastating, really.
He basically says, look, you're intensely concerned, angry even about this vine.
A vine you didn't plant, you didn't make it grow. It popped up overnight and died overnight. It was temporary, unearned.
You care that much about that. And then God contrasts it.
With Nineveh, that great city. He says, should I not be concerned about Nineveh?
And he gives the reason. More than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left.
That phrase is powerful. Maybe it means kids, innocence, or maybe spiritual ignorance, moral confusion, whatever it means, it emphasizes vulnerability.
And also many animals.
Yeah.
God even includes the cattle. It shows this huge, expansive concern for all life.
So this whole chapter, this deep dive, it's not just about a grumpy prophet, is it?
Not at all. It's this incredible clash of perspectives. Jonah's narrow, self-focused view, worried about his comfort, his nationalistic pride, maybe.
Versus God's vast, compassionate perspective that values everyone, even the people Jonah saw as enemies, even the animals.
Yeah. And it forces you, the listener, to look at your own reactions. How often are we, furious about small stuff, personal inconveniences?
While maybe being totally indifferent to massive suffering or need elsewhere. It's about proportion, isn't it? Perspective.
Exactly. So the story kind of leaves you hanging with that question. What are you most concerned about? What gets you angry enough to die, figuratively speaking?
And how does the scale of that concern stack up against, the bigger picture? The needs of the world, the lives of others, even those you find difficult.
It's a challenging thought. Jonah holds up a pretty uncomfortable mirror sometimes.
Definitely something to chew on.